50 years ago, at the height of the civil rights movement, former New York City ballet dancer Arthur Mitchell, the first black dancer to be elevated to principal, created, along with Carol Shook, the Dance Theater of Harlem. Mitchell was inspired to start a school that would offer children in Harlem, the community in which he was born, the opportunity to learn about dance and the arts, and he began by initially practicing their routines in a Harlem garage. Through performances, community engagement, and arts education, the company carries forward its message of empowerment through the arts for all. Here's a look. Following Arthur Mitchell's sudden passing last fall, the Dance Theater of Harlem will dedicate their 50th anniversary season to Mitchell's life and legacy. Joining me now is the Dance Theater of Harlem's artistic director, Virginia Johnson, who returns to the company after having been a founding member and principal dancer. Virginia, welcome to the program.
It's wonderful to be here. It's a program I watch all the time, so I'm thrilled
we'd
to be
love to hear that. You were there on the ground floor. What was that like when you first joined?
So I actually went up to Harlem to take ballet classes because I heard that Arthur Mitchell was teaching ballet on Saturdays. And I went up there in the fall of 1968 and found out he's starting a company. And so I became part of Dance Theater of Harlem in 1969, and there were 4 other dancers. All of us had been told, you're never going to be a ballerina. You're never going to be in ballet because of the color of your skin. And so Arthur Mitchell had created this opportunity for us to do the thing that we'd prepared our lives to do and had dreamed of doing all the time.
Now, what was it like, of course, working with him?
We had to show the world that we could do this. And nothing was ever good enough because we had to be better than better. We had to be the best dancers ever. And he really challenged us every minute to step up to that command. Because Arthur Mitchell worked with George Balanchine at New York City Ballet, Balanchine was sort of our godfather, and he gave us many of his great ballets. We did his Concerto Barocco. It was the first work that we actually did of Mr. Balanchine's, which is a very clean and neoclassical work. You're in white leotards and white skirts, and you're in straight lines, and you're doing these very precise movements. And to do Concerto Barocco in those early days as Dance Theater of Harlem was to make a statement about what was possible if we were included. It was a great burden to bear, but it was a great joy. Because at the end of Concerto Barocco, every time the audience would leap to their feet cheering because something had happened to them by seeing Dance Theater of Harlem, something they didn't know was possible.
I'm wondering, how is the theater working with outreach now with young people?
So one of the things that's been an important part of Dance Theater of Harlem from the beginning, we are a school, we're a performing company, but we're also about this thing that used to be called arts exposure. You know, really connecting young people, really connecting audiences around the country and around the world to the experience of art. So we have a lot of activities that do that. We do workshops, we do master classes, we do what's something that's called a lecture demonstration in cities for young people. We invite them in where they get to watch us do a little bit of class and somebody's narrating it, so they see the work that goes into it, to understand that ballet is a language, so they understand some of the vocabulary of our movements. Then we put it all together in dances. So it's kind of an introduction to what it is to be a dancer and to what the art form does. This art form belongs to everyone. There's a kind of a myth out there that you have to be born a ballerina. Your spirit has to be there from the start. But the transformation that happens to a body when you study ballet correctly is amazing. And that's something that happened with Dance Theater of Harlem over its 50 years and can happen to more and more young people if the people who are running companies, if you have the teachers who are ready to work with a body and turn it into a ballet body. Now, if you've got flat feet, it's going to be really hard to be on point. Flat feet come in all colors. So if you've got the facility, if you've got the ability to train the body that is towards a ballet type, then you're going to have the opportunity to become that ballerina.
Well, that actually leads me into my next point. The Dance Theater of Harlem is for all colors as well. It's a multi-racial, multi-ethnic dance company, correct?
Absolutely. Arthur Mitchell was not trying to create a black ballet company in opposition to the white ballet companies. He was trying to say that this art form belongs to all of us. It's an art form that should be inclusive. He wanted people to see ballet in a different way. I think what African Americans, people of color, bring to the art form is of tremendous value. There's another kind of understanding about what the expression of ballet can be if it's a multi-ethnic expression of culture.
Virginia, I want to thank you so much for joining us on Metro Focus and taking us through some of the history of the Dance Theater of Harlem and, of course, talking about what it is that the Dance Theater offers to young people now.
That's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
The Dance Theater of Harlem will celebrate its 50th anniversary homecoming season at New York City Center, April 10th to the 13th. For more information, please visit us at metrofocus.org.